Hey everyone, so this is my review of Manifest Season 1, Episode 8, called Point of No Return, and essentially what this episode is about is that Ben and Vance team up to try and sort of find the missing passengers before it's too late. And while it's going on, Michaela sort of helps a suicidal passenger, and Cal goes back to school. And this was a really interesting episode that definitely had a lot of payoff in it, but it still kind of felt like it was a setting up for stuff to come. And it was very interesting to see that because usually I'm not a huge fan of setup episodes, but this episode did have enough sort of like payoff sort of moments to sort of keep things interesting, where it sort of answered a bunch of questions that the last episode left off, but also continued on with a bunch of those storylines as well. Where everything with Ben and Vance and them working to try and figure out where these passengers have been moved to and stuff like that was interesting, with Ben continuing to go undercover sort of at this accounting firm to find where they were moved to and stuff, and that was interesting with how he had to go about doing that, where at first he goes and gets this job and is looking through all these locations for this one business and stuff that they know is connected, and them doing all that, but it ends up being for naught because of the fact that he realizes, based on this one side comment that his supervisor makes, that where they want is not on the books because of the fact that the company's running so far behind on getting information put into the computers and stuff that the location that they're looking for doesn't exist on the books yet, so they have to go and find it some other way. And how they did that and stuff was interesting, with them getting help from the woman in the last episode to get her to go back to this company and essentially bug the company so then they can hear what they're planning and hear what they want with the passengers and where they are and stuff. And that was really interesting to see. And I'm just really excited to see what's going to happen in the next episode now that they're finally going to go and confront this location and go and possibly save the passengers and stuff. And that makes me really interested to see sort of what all they're doing. Then everything with Cal was just a sort of sweet little side story with him continuing to try and go back to having a normal life, but him also being afraid that something bad's going to happen to him again. And him going back to school was really fun, with him reuniting with a lot of his sort of lost friends, and that was very interesting to see, with how these older kids still befriended Cal even though they've had this sort of 4 years without him, that they were still willing to accept him into their group and stuff. That was really sweet to see, and I really hope that that continues on. And then everything with Michaela was interesting, with her being on this case that started off with this other passenger from Flight 828 and him sort of having these feelings that whenever he tells someone about his callings or about his experiences and stuff, that those people end up dead. And so this other passenger feels that he is sort of like this angel of death, and that whoever he tells about his experiences and stuff will die. So he decides to kill himself before he can kill another person. And how Michaela sort of took that and how eventually Ben took that was really interesting, and I'm very curious to see how that's all going to play out in the future. Where they are now afraid because they've told people like Grace and Jared and stuff, and just they're afraid that something's going to eventually happen to those people that they care about, and how all the pieces sort of fell in front of Michaela showing that was interesting, and I'm very curious to see what's going to happen going forward, with the fact that throughout this episode Michaela kept hearing voices in her head saying to save him, and she eventually falls on that those voices are talking about Jared. So I'm interested to see if in the next episode she's gonna want to try and sort of drive a wedge between the two of them to possibly protect him by keeping him as far away from her as possible or something like that. That is something that I'm very interested to see, but I feel like it's kind of too late because she already has shared all this information with him about her callings and stuff. That either he is fated to die because of it or he isn't. And that I'm very interested to see how all that's going to play out. And then just overall, this was a really, really exciting and entertaining episode that was so much fun to watch and see how everything played out. And I'm very excited to see what's going to happen in the next episode now that they have a location of where these missing pastors are. So yeah, that's my Rio Manifest, Season 1, Episode 8, called Point of No Return. So yeah.